Hey, what's up? It's your girl Meek. Today is Thursday. It's an awesome day. So far, so good for me. I hope all is well with everyone else. I decided to do something a little different today, which is to do a little pre-recording. I haven't had much time and space and opportunity to go live like I want to. So I was just sitting here chilling and thought, you know what? Let me try this out, see how long I can talk in the room amongst myself without any back and forth in the chat to, y'all know how it is. We get to talk to each other and I can read y'all chats and, have a little ha ha here and there. Let me see how this goes with just me. So I was just thinking about our thought process and how that truly impacts our lives, how it plays um, an astronomical part of the way our not only our life goes, our day goes, even our ambitions, I would say. A lot of times our thoughts get in the way. So as I sit here and I think about myself as a person who is always thinking, like I continuously think throughout the day, throughout the night. I probably think in my sleep when I don't know I'm thinking. I'll be thinking. I'll be thinking. But classic overthinker. But I have learned that my overthinking, I've learned how to hone into it and not allow it to consume me. Because in the past, as an overthinker, what would happen is I'd just get caught up in all those thoughts. And then I would begin to create scenarios in my mind. For example, if it was a relationship, I always say I'm a creature of habit. So if you call me every day at 7:45 a.m., I expect you to call me every day at 7:45 a.m. But if for some strange reason you don't, my psychological self would be like, self, in your head, you know what this means? And then I'll have like five different reasons why this call didn't come forth at 7:45. I done put you as married. I done put you as um in the hospital. I done put you as no longer interested. I done went through all these scenarios and then boom, the call comes through the next day. Found out she was sick or something. That's not a true life example, but it's just kind of like how my mind would work. You know what I mean? So overthinking can consume you to a point where you're a little dysfunctional or distracted because you're trying to, I guess, in a sense, you're trying to control the impact of whatever it is in your head that you've created that's about to happen that probably ain't gonna happen. Catch me if you didn't. Try again on Tuesday, next Tuesday. But anyway, I was listening to the good prophet Stephen Chestnut last night, and he's always giving us a lot of quotes when he's teaching. I mean, this man is amazing at teaching the Bible, teaching about God, teaching about life. It's almost like one of those people like, is there anything you don't know? And he's not that old, but nevertheless, I love listening to him because he causes me to think. He's a thought provoking minister for God, and there's moments where I watch him and I might be like, aha, and then there's things like, man, I never knew that. It's always something, but he causes you to go. I feel like, well, he causes me to go into realms of thinking that I probably wouldn't unless the way of teaching wasn't presented before me. I think that explains it good. But on last night, one of the things he said is a thought has no power until you think. I'm like, I'm sitting there, and like I said, it's so thought provoking. A thought has no power until you think. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't. Just like your words have no power until you speak. You see what I'm saying? So even to come up with those words, you have to think. So the power comes in thoughts, but it only happens once you think. That sounds like a brain twister, but keep going with me. Follow me. Follow me. Your thoughts have no power until you think. In the Bible it says, I think it says something like, and so as a man thinketh, so he is, or something like that. It's like you become what you think. And I think about that in a positive and negative thought process. You know, Sometimes we can get caught up in thinking so much that it's our thoughts that's giving all that negativity, all the negative energy, all the chaotic things in our life that's giving those things power to come in and rule and reign. When in reality, we're supposed to be in better control of our thoughts. We all have heard the mind is the devil's playground. But when you know the Lord, you know not to give way to your mind. We think with our heart, because that's where Christ resides, in our heart. But like I said, in the sense of positive and negative, it's no different than if you speak ill, you'll get ill. If you speak well, you'll get well. So if you're thinking, like I said, like me, I was an overthinker. If you're thinking a lot and you done came up with all this stuff in your mind that might not have been so, say you got a situation going on with a person at work and y'all don't seem to be quite, meshing or whatever. So you start to think that this person has an issue with you when really they probably ain't even paying attention to you, ain't checking for you. But because of our thoughts, we've given all these things power to grow now in our mind. So here we are in our mind, this person paying no attention to us, but we've created this scenario where they're out to get our job. They're going to the manager on you. They trying to get you fired. All because of a thought. I thought they didn't like me. So therefore, now I have power to believe all these things that I've created in my mind because of what I was thinking. I was thinking this person was against me. I was thinking this person was going behind me, trying to throw me out and take my place, or whatever the scenario is we create in our mind that might not be what it is. Like I said, we give power to those things soon as we think it. Soon as we think it. And then on the positive side, just think about how that works. Thought could be, you know what, I'm going to start this business. And then if you begin to think, okay, what I need to do for this business is, number one, this is what I would be thinking. I'm going to put God first. That's all the power right there. The power is in your foundation. If I made God the foundation, my thinking is, man, it's on point at this point. Long as I stay focused, stay focused. Don't let my thoughts get all out of control and get to doubting and fearing and all that good stuff. So my first thought would be, okay, let me make sure God is first. Then I'm thinking, well, what do I need to do to make this come to pass? Okay, first I need to write a plan. These are my thought processes as I'm going through this thing. I'm thinking, how much do I need to start it? I'm thinking, what would be my location? If, say I'm doing a shop, what area do I want to be in? I'm thinking, what area generates this amount of revenue per year? What area has high traffic? These are all the things that I'm thinking that are positive for the growing of my business. So that's what I'm saying about how our thinking, if it's negative or positive, you're going to birth whichever one it is you're giving way to. Um, I like when Double speaks. If you guys don't watch him, go follow him. Double Speaks Telecast, I think it is. If that's all not right, then don't charge it to my heart. Charge it to this old mind of mine. But I think that's what it is. Hey, Double. Uh, we say, what are you feeding today? Are you feeding your spirit or you feeding your flesh? You know, and I think that's how our mind is set up. If we feed our flesh, then our thoughts will probably become of the flesh. But if we feed our spirit, then our thoughts are likely to become of the spirit. And if we're moving by the spirit, then those negative thoughts don't get to trump the positive thoughts. You know, it's like we have to cast down our flesh. We have to, you know, try to move around it, move above it. It's going to be there. You know what I mean? It's always going to be that possibility we're going to have those negative thoughts to creep in. But how do you counterblock that? No weapon formed against me shall be able to prosper. Or the new song on TikTok, the devil is a liar. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nah. Yeah, 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 yeah. You know, I think I can sing, right? Anybody been following me at least a year, y'all know good and well. I think I'm a whole worship, praise, and worship leader. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nah. Victory is mine. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let me quit. But anyway, hey, that's good thinking right there. Victory is mine. You know, that's how we keep those negative thoughts for gaining power in our life. You know, and I mean, think about what P. Diddy had to be thinking for all this chaos to be in his life right now. For his life to become this level of chaos. Because at this point, Brother Combs is entangled. You know, I told y'all the other day, if you play with demons long enough, you they will turn on you. And you're either going to become them or you're going to be forced to bow down. Obviously, he he couldn't win. You know, that's how I look at it. No, I'm not saying he's not accountable for the things he's done, but I'm saying is when people operate in different spirits and they're overtaken because they don't have that proper foundation, when they've given way to wickedness because their thoughts may have been, I need more money, I need more power, I need more women, I need to be able to control this, I need, you know, whatever I don't know that man's thoughts. But what I'm getting at is there's a high chance that he fed his flesh and all his thoughts were probably just not right. And I'm not saying he's 100% bad dude. Sean Combs, probably not. But whatever it is that he's giving way to in his life that now controls that vessel, pretty bad, you know. And it probably began with a thought. And his thought probably started off pure. You know, I want to take care of my mom. I want to get us out of this situation. I want to be the top executive in the music industry. Those are good thoughts. But somewhere, you know, we'll tend to give way to something that is impure. And now our thoughts become not so righteous. And then we'll start to reap what we sow. You can reap what you sow even in your thoughts. Doesn't the Bible say something about once you think it, you've already sinned? You know. So like I said, I don't pretend to know Brother Combs' story, but I just think it's just a way of looking at how possibly a thought process, a mindset caused chaos in one's life, how they were probably on top at one point, and then because of the power it gave, whatever thoughts that may have been going on, things shifted, things changed. So that's my point, you know, is staying in that thought process, keeping our thinking submitted under God so that we are not invaded by demons. So we're not invaded by wickedness. So we're not overtaken by darkness. We are supposed to be a light in the darkness. We're not supposed to join the darkness. The darkness is there. The darkness is here to stay. We got to grow up with it. We got to move through it. But if you know that you possess light, then even in darkness, you're able to see. Even in darkness, you should be able to move. Even in darkness, you should know what you know about the Lord. Even in darkness, your thoughts should not change. You don't conform to the ways of the world. You have to keep your thought process spiritual. You have to keep your thought process, your thinking on God. Because at this point in this world, that's the only thing that can save us. We don't need stinking thinking. We need that good old wholesome. Well, I don't know how wholesome it'll always be, but we need to be righteous as we know how. We need to be righteous as we know how. We are very imperfect human beings. We are very imperfect human beings, but we have access to a perfect being that gives us grace and mercy. So even when we do fall short in our thoughts, in our thinking, he's always there to remind us. That's why I always say I want to get back into, reading my word regular. It's not easy to just pick up the Bible and start reading. I don't know if y'all done tried. Some people can do it. I know people that have read the Bible 14 times. I will say I ain't even made it through once, and I'm 51 years old. Am I 51? Yeah, I'm 51 years old. Hey, I'm about to be 52 December the 13th. We're going to have a birthday party. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, this is crazy because I'm over here just walking around in a circle, entertaining myself. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But it's not always easy. It is not always easy. And I don't know. Y'all, I just think that if we're not having the right thinking, we got to recalibrate. We got to recenter, refocus, and get back in position. We take ourselves out of position, and often it's by way of our mind, how we think we need to be moving, how we think we should be doing, how we think it's supposed to be. We ain't the all-knowing God. So although it may look like it's going one way, unless you can find a way to move in a way that makes sense, move in a way that does not pull you away from God, but draws you closer to God, I say move. What you thinking, if it's pulling you to God, move. What you're thinking, if you doubtful and you're not sure, stand still. And stand still doesn't mean stop walking. It just means maybe not entertain that thought in this moment. Maybe not go with that idea in this moment. Maybe get into your prayer closet and pray and ask God for guidance. Ask God for wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and clarity. Ask Him to increase your discernment so that you make the right decision, so that your thoughts are clear. Ask Him to renew your mind. That is the number one way of keeping your thoughts pure. Renew your mind daily. And while you're in there, renew my heart. Renew my heart and mind daily. Every day we got new struggles. Every day there's something that we're going to have to take on and navigate. And some days it's going to be hard. Some days you might want to go back to those old ways of thinking and be like, I'm about to bust this, you know. you have that thought of, I think I need to get a little gangster. But we don't want to give that the power. We want to make sure all the power and the glory goes to the one true and living God. So that we find ourselves on the right side of things. So that we aren't consumed by our thoughts. So that we aren't taken down by our own thoughts. Our own way of thinking. It says that Jesus is the way, truth, and the life. It don't get no better than that. My way is probably great, could be, but it's still gonna be flawed his way. Man, just think if I run my way by his way, how he could tweak my way into something that I couldn't even imagine I was capable of. How that grace and mercy slides in there and gets you in a door that you never even had in your thinking process. Has you so open to running into people. People are doors. Because we do know that when it says God open the door for me, that's not a physical door that we're going to just walk up to and it's going to be like, open sesame, God, open the door for me. No, doors come by way of people. People create opportunities. People create relationships. People allow for others to, like, let's say on YouTube, most of us came to other people's pages because of someone else. Now, in the off chance, in YouTube, it might not be a good example because you could just stumble across something. But I really can't say that because if you wasn't out here looking at something, you still wouldn't have had the opportunity to run into it. Let's try to find a better example. I need to know how to get in with the Deltas group. I don't want to become a Delta, but I need these women in my chair because that's revenue. Now I do 3 ladies who are actually in this sorority. That's 3 doors for real, for real. Now it's about which one gonna open it up. And it could be out here trying to figure out, maybe I could write a letter to the organization. Maybe I can go on the page on Facebook when all the time God set somebody in my chair, a person who could create an open door for me. And matter of fact, it was one because the one lady sent another and then that one sent another. So it was the first one that opened the door. See what I'm saying? Sometimes we think too hard. Sometimes you think long. They say you think long, you think wrong. Think long, you think wrong. So all I'm really saying is, how's your thinking? What is it that you're giving way to? What is it that you're trying to control in your own thought process? What is it? You know, uh, then I was thinking like even with thought process, there is, I think, things that will attract to us because of our mentality. And if our mentality is off in some area, maybe we attract something that isn't necessarily good for where we're going. They're not necessarily good for our elevation. And they're really there to kill, steal, and destroy. He talked about how when the enemy is on the prowl and he's trying to, sit you out and see if he can devour you. How when when the enemy is trying to put out a snare, what happens is it'll snatch you up like a trap. Let's go like that. It'll snatch you up like a trap, get you all distracted or whatever the case. And then while you're stuck in this trap, it can go out and round up other people in your life, other things in your life, and start to like rally these things in that will keep you ensnared. Almost like if you did something to some big man in the street and he say, I'm gonna get you. In order to get you, I'm gonna go get your mama. I'm gonna get her and I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna trap her up to reel you in, your sister in, your brother in. Now I can destroy your bloodline. See what I'm saying? So he said that how that happens is not because the enemy just came and snatched you up, but it's usually when we're off our post. You know what I'm saying? when we're distracted by something or someone, and we're not in the spaces we're supposed to be in. So now we're open. The moment we get caught up in some gossip, the moment we get caught up in some relationship that's pulling us away from God, the moment we get caught up in whatever it is that got you off your post, that got you out of receiving any warnings and things like that, that's when he got you. The enemy is only successful when he has you off your post, when he has you out of character, when he has you distracted, when he has you over here dealing with something that the Lord was supposed to be dealing with in the first place, because now you done came off your post to go and confront it, put your hands on it, get rah 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 rah. No, I'm just kidding. That's why I always say, like, it ain't always, we can't always just blame it on the devil. The devil be busy, but we also be off our post. If we wasn't off our post, he wouldn't be able to do the things that he's allowed to do. We opened ourselves up. It's like on your post, you have a shield. Let's say it like that. There's a shield when you're on your post. You on your square. Your A game is good. But as soon as you step off that post, you outside of that shield. Now you fair game. If I hadn't come off my post, I wouldn't have been distracted when this happened over here in my business. If I had not been off my post, I would not have been distracted when this little thing came in and creeped in on my man or my woman. If I had not been off my post, I wouldn't have had the situation at work where I missed something and now I've been fired. If I hadn't have been off my post, I wouldn't have seen what these people were saying over here. And now I'm over here trying to figure out how to salvage the rest of my what is the word I'm looking for? Reputation. I didn't lose my reputation because of people. I didn't lose my mate because of them. I lost those things because I was off my post. I came out of my sphere of protection. So we got to remember that too. Stay on guard. Keep yourself in the position you're supposed to be in, so that when you're trying to do things, you got that shield going with you. Long as you ain't distracted and off your square, you got that shield traveling with you. Will we take bumps and bruises? Absolutely. But at that point, I believe it's bumps and bruises that are there to build character, that are there to teach you, that are there to show you something that you wouldn't have seen otherwise, so that when you come up against it again, you won't have the same result. You won't have the same hiccup. You won't have the same setback. Or you will be able to tell somebody else, nah, don't go over there because that water swirl that way. If you get in there, you're going down. But if you go over here where the water is still, you're going to be able to move through smoothly. You won't be standing there watching your sister and brother go over there in them swirls. Some of the things we go through, we got to go through. Long as you on your post, you're going to come through. You're going to be like the three little Hebrew boys in the fire pit. I taught my bonus baby about Daniel yesterday. And when I made her write a report, and she had forgot all about them. She only remembered Daniel and the king mostly, but she was telling the story. So I asked her, I said, well, what happened first? I said, what happened to the three brothers or the three Hebrew boys? Oh, yeah, they got put in the fire. And then I said, well, how many was in there? She said it was 4. I said, do you know who the 4th person was? It was God. I said, then what happened? Said, nothing happened. They came out and they didn't smell like smoke. They wasn't hurt. Man, y'all don't know. I felt like a whole Bible teacher. Hey, little do she know I'm learning right with her. Okay, I told y'all I got to get back into the word, and I had the sneaking feelings, the sneaking suspicion that this is a tool that God is using not only for my baby but for me. Hey, sometimes you got to get back to the basics to get that understanding. I might be that person that can't pick up the Bible and get it. But as I learned with her and then refer back to my adult things, it makes a little more sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I ain't above learning. I'm going to learn something new every day. And it also shows me what I already know. Sometimes I don't think I know some stuff and I'll be knowing. But I say this to say, when you stay on your post, no matter what, Make sure you're standing before God. You're worshiping God, that you're not turning that in for any other thing, that no matter what, even when it seems like it's sweeter on the other side, even when you're threatened, stay on that post, worshiping God. He'll make sure you come out not smelling like smoke. Hey, no, I'm scared. But I'm for real though when I say that. I am so for real. Uh, a lot of time we get so caught up in the world. This is before I go. We get so caught up in the world that we notice everything coming against us, but we don't really take time out to notice the things that are absolutely for us. And I just would love for each and every one of us to think upon that. Think about, man, all these things are for me. Why am I always thinking about this stuff coming against me? Because I guarantee you, there's more that's for you than against you. If God be for me, then who can be against me? The Lord is my light and salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom shall I be afraid? He's the truth. He is the truth. Really doesn't. I just say all that to say, what we keep in repetition is what we see. You know what I'm saying? What we keep in repetition is what we see. So if we keep in repetition a life full of stinking thinking, a life full of handling things in our own strength, a life full of getting off our square game, getting off our posts. If we're repeating that, that's what we're going to see in our life. But if we have a repetition of praising God, we have a repetition of standing strong in our faith, we have a repetition of going through what we got to go through and not trying to beat the odds or going not feeling the little pressure. Pressure busts pipes, but it also makes diamonds. We got to stay in our diamond process sometimes. It might hurt, it might not feel good. But if we have a repetition of staying in those spaces, it gets easier and we'll see the good old fruits of our labor. We'll see the things that God has for us. We will see that it wasn't all bad. Maybe we just got off our post at one moment in time. Yeah, so I guess that's the end of my talk. I just felt today was the day I'm gonna press play and talk and do a recording, have something to say for my people. As usual, you guys know I appreciate you so much. If you're listening to this, yay, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. If you have any ideas about anything I said, how it resonated with you, uh, definitely, if you would like, hit the Cash App. It's money for me. Money sign her meekness. And as I always tell you, that's not the most important thing. What is important is to hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, bring a friend. Sharing is caring. I appreciate you guys so much. With that being said, I pray God blesses your life, that He keeps you covered in your sleep, covers you in your traveling to and from work, that He covers your children every day as they go to school, as they're in school, when they're coming home for school, in their sleep. That angels are around them to keep precious, sweet dreams coming before them, Lord God. And I just thank you for this opportunity to speak to your people, and I don't take it for granted. I pray that something I said has resonated with you guys and maybe helped you. If not, share it with somebody that you know that could benefit from it. I appreciate you guys, and yeah, blessings to you all. Peace, mercy, all that good stuff. All right, now I gotta go. Till next time. I'm out of here. Bye bye now.